I'm trying. Today I want us to look at solving equations. So this time around we've got more like quadratic equations. Okay, so what I will do here, we have got this a here. We want to remove it, so we are going to multiply all the sides by a. So this side, they will cancel off each other and will remain with 3 is equal to a multiplying a minus 2. Okay, so we will have 3 is equals to a times a. We have a squared minus a times minus 2. We get minus 2a. Okay, so when this happens, I can even take this on this side. It becomes minus 3. So here we will remain with a 0. So I have 0 is equal to a squared minus 2a minus 3. Okay, so when I get to this point, I can try to find a number that when I add, I'll get minus 2a. When I multiply, I'll get minus 3. Okay, so minus 2a is coming from this one. Then the multiplication is coming from this 1a and this 3 there. Okay, that's where I have 1 times minus 3. We get minus 3 there. That's where it's coming from. Okay, so when I do that, I can have I can think of a number like minus 3a plus 1a, like this, such that when I add, I have minus 3a plus a, I'll get minus 2a. When I multiply, I'll get when multiplying, we are considering the numbers there only, so I'll get minus 3a. Even if you multiply and consider the a, you still get a squared there, minus 3a squared. So it's one and the same thing. So I'm now going to rewrite this equation as 0 is equal to a squared minus 3a plus 1a minus 3, like that. This will go back to this. Okay, so we have not violated anything. Now I've formed 2 pairs of our we can factorize these 2 pairs. So for the first one, I can say this is 0 is equal to, for the first one, I can take out a common factor of a there and remain with a minus 3. Okay, then for the second one, I can take plus 1 and remain with a minus 3. So I have factors of a plus 1 and a minus 3. These are all equal to 0. When I do this, I can take either a plus 1 is equals to 0 or a minus 3 is equals to 0. Okay, so you can now solve for these two. So when I solve for this one, I'll have my a is equal to minus 1. I'm simply taking this one to this side. Okay, then for this one, I have my a as equal to 3. Okay, I've taken this one to this side, it becomes a positive. So our values for a is equal to minus 1 or 3. That's how we solve this one. Let's have a look at another example. Okay, for this one, we are going to multiply by d both sides, by d. So I'll have d multiplying 5 minus 2d. Okay, this is equal to, these ones will cancel off each other, so we'll remain with a 2 there. Multiplying our d, removing the brackets, I'll have 5d minus 2d squared is equal to a 2. Now I'm going to solve this one by taking this one this side so that it becomes a positive. Then even this one, it becomes a negative. Okay, so let's do that. When I do that, I'll have 0 is equal to 2d squared, then minus 5d, then plus 2 this one. Okay, that's how we are going to do that. Now I'll also do that and find a number. If I add, I'll have minus 5d. If I multiply, if I add, I'll have minus 5d. If I multiply, I'll get 4d squared. Okay, so the number is what? I can think of minus 4d minus 1d. Okay, so if I add, I'll have minus 4d minus 1d, I get minus 5d. If I multiply, I get 4d squared. Okay, so that's our answer then. Now I can rewrite that and have it as 0 is equal to 2d squared minus 4d minus 1d plus a 2 there. Okay, let's factorize those groups, this one and this one. So I'll have 0 is equals to, I can take out 2d here and remain with d minus 2 here. Then I can take out minus 1 here and remain with d minus 2 here. Okay, like that. This is what we are doing here. Now, when we have that, I can have factors of 2d minus 1 and d minus 2. Okay, those are the factors. So we can simply say either 2d minus 1 is equals to 0 or d minus 2 is equals to 0. And when we solve these equations, you find out for this one, 2d is equal to 1. So we'll get our d is going to be a half here, or our d here is going to be a 2. Okay, so those are the values of our d. Let's have a look at another example. Okay, so for this one, we are going to multiply by 3e. Our lowest common multiple here is 3e. So I'll multiply by 3e, everything 3e, everything 3e, everything 3e. Okay, so let's divide now. 3 and these 3 cancel. We remain with 7e there, plus e and e cancel. We remain with 6 here, is equal to 3e times e, we get 3e squared. Okay, like that. When I have it like this, it's easier for me to take these ones this side and they change their signs. So I'll remain with a 0 is equal to 3e squared minus 7e minus 6. Okay, so here I'm going to think of a number that when I add, I'll have minus 7e. When I multiply, I'll have 3 times minus 6, I get 18. 3 times 6, I get 18. So I'll have here minus 18e squared. Okay, so what number can we think of that when we add, we'll get 7 minus 7. Then when we multiply, we get that. Okay, so let's see. If I say 7, if I have 7, okay, I can even use 7. Let's see, 7. I can use when I add, okay, let's see, 18 divided by 2, 9. Okay, yeah, I can use minus 9 then plus 2. 9 plus 2. Yes, I think I can use this one. Okay, so I'm going to use this one, minus 9 plus 2. So when I add, I'll have minus 7e. When I multiply, minus 9 times, I'll get minus e. Yes, that's correct. So let's use that one. So I have 0 is equals to 3e squared minus 9e plus 2e minus 6, like that. Okay, let's have factors. For the first one, I have 0 is equals to, I can take out 3e there and remain with e minus 3. Okay, then plus, I can take out here 2 and remain with e minus 3, like that. Okay, now I've got this factor 0 is equals to 3e plus 2 and e minus 3, like that. So either 3e plus 2 is equals to 0 or e minus 3 is equals to 0. So our e is equals to, for the first one here, 3e is equals to minus 2 over 3 over 3. So our e here is equal to minus 2 over 3. Okay, then or for this one, e is equals to 3. So or E is equals to 3 here. Okay, so these are the two values for that. Let's have another example. Okay, for this one, I can multiply everything by this. So I'm going to multiply by C plus 2 by C plus 2. Okay, so I'll have C multiplying C plus 2 here. Then these ones will cancel off each other and we have is equals to 3. Okay, like that. So multiplying that one, I'll have C squared plus 2C is equals to a 3. I can take this one this side. Have it as C squared plus 2C minus 3 is equals to a 0. Let's think of a number that when we add, we'll have plus 2C. When we multiply, we'll have minus 3C squared. Okay, so what number can we think of? I can think of 3 plus 3C minus 1C. Okay, plus 3C minus 1C, I get plus 2C. When I multiply, I get minus. Okay, that's fine. So we are having that. Let's rewrite it. We have C squared plus 3C minus 1C minus 3 is equals to a 0. Let's now factorize these groups. Then I'll have for the first one, I can factor out C and remain with C plus 3. Second one, I can factor out minus 1 and remain with C plus 3 is equals to 0. So I have factor C minus 1 and C plus 3 is equals to a 0 there. Okay, so either C minus 1 is equals to 0 or C plus 3 is equals to 0. When we solve those two, we have our C. We can say either C minus 1 is equals to 0 or C plus 3 is equals to 0. So our C is equals to 1 or C is equals to minus 3. So our answer for our C becomes 1 or minus 3. So these are our answers for our C. Let's have a look at number 5. Okay, so for this one, I can multiply both sides by 3m plus 2, 3m plus 2. Okay, so this side they cancel off each other and will remain with m by 3m plus 2 is equal to an 8 then. Okay, let's remove the brackets and see what we get. Here we have 3m squared plus 2m is equal to 8. I can take this 8 to this other side. I can take this 8 to this other side and it becomes minus 8. So I'll have 3m squared plus 2m minus 8 is equals to 0. So I want to think of a number that when I add, I'll have plus 2m. When I multiply, I'll have minus 24m squared. Okay, so which number can I think of? I can think of 24. 24 is a product of 6 times 4. Yes, I can use that one. So I can say I can think of 6 plus 6m minus 4m, like that. Okay, so if I add, I'll have plus 2m. If I multiply, I'll have minus 24m. Let's use that one. So we can now rewrite and have, if we want to rewrite this, we can rewrite and have, we can have now, we can rewrite it and have it as 3m squared plus 6m minus 4m minus 8 is equals to a 0, like that. Now, having that, we can now factorize these pairs. Let's now factorize these pairs. We can now factorize this pair and this pair. Okay, for the first one, I can take out 3m and remain with m plus 2. The second one, I can take out minus 2 and remain with, I can take out minus 4, sorry, I can take out minus 4 there, minus 4, and remain with m plus a 2. this is equal to a 0. So we have got two common brackets then, and I can say I have 3m minus 4 as a factor and m plus 2 as a factor is equal to 0. So when we reach this point, we can say either 3m minus 4 is equal to 0, or m plus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, so 3m, this one I can take this side, it becomes plus. So I have 3m is equal to 4. So I divide by 3 both sides, by 3. So our m here is equal to, 4 over 3. Okay, then on the other one, our m is equal to minus 2. Okay, so our values for m is equal to 4 over 3 or minus 2. Okay, so those are our answers there. Okay guys, bye bye, let's meet in the next video.